Miracle, guys. I told my fiance yesterday that I had accepted that my red and white was going to die. He was on his side. The flukes had hatched back out and massively taken over. And rapid breathing. He was covered in parasites. His dropsy was back. He was full of fluid to the point that he was jiggly. And I put him through this treatment basically to see if the parasites were killed off. I fully expected him to pass yesterday, and today, I mean, he's bottom sitting, but he's upright, he's swimming around, he ate bloodworms, and as I'll show, I did a scope, and everything was gone, so I don't know if he's gonna pull through, you know, completely. If I could get him to stay away from the heater, that might be nice, because he doesn't need burns on top of it. But look at, guys, I mean, he's not pine coned anymore at all. And just yesterday he was fully pine cone, full blown again. So this isn't going to be a cure for dropsy if the dropsy is caused by a bacterial infection or poor water quality. You know, his fins are burnt to hell. But that dropsy is, look at him. And I thought yesterday, I thought he for sure he was dead. So what I did, I'm going to walk through exactly what I did. So this is my important, you know, butterfly collection, and my Ryukin rescue that was really doing bad. And I had 4 buckets on the floor. And first I put them into a proper temperatured bucket with, I did 1 teaspoon per gallon Epsom salt. That's what your base bath is supposed to be. And I was scraping, and nothing was happening. So I upped it to double the recommended. I did 5. So I did 10 teaspoons of Epsom salt in a 5-gallon bucket. And the ick and some of the, I think it's pronounced owie. Someone shared with me that I'm pronouncing it wrong. Oodinium, I think. So the ick and some of those start dying off. And then I moved them to a rinse bucket. Basically rinsed them. And then moved them into a bucket with 6 teaspoons per gallon of salt. So if you're going to put it in the aquarium, you do not want to exceed, really, if you can, 3 teaspoons per gallon of salt. I have the hiccups as usual. Uniodized salt. So I moved them from double the recommended bath. They were probably in there for 45 minutes. And moved them into a bucket, rinsed them, moved them, just kind of switched them in clean water, and moved them into a bucket with 6 teaspoons per gallon of uniodized salt. And I had them in there for probably about 45 minutes. Then I moved them into an additional bucket of potassium permanganate. Now I didn't really estimate, I went a lavender color, so I know I went way more than what the double of the jungle clear I was doing. I just kind of made it a dark lavender color. Had them in there for a half an hour, and then moved them into this tank where I added heaters. I added 3 teaspoons per gallon of salt and copper sulfate. And I have scraped 4 of the fish in here, including my red and white. And I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful here. You know, everybody's slime coat is like really disrupted, but that should regenerate I'm going to do a large water change and just kind of retreat, and then hopefully skip to a different tank and kind of keep them in this treatment for, I think, maybe 4 days. And then I'm going to move them over to a completely clean tub, and I'm going to slowly cycle my fish through. Now, I may end up with some hatching back out or missing, but the you know, some eggs or something. But I'm hopeful because right now everything looks cleared off, and look at my red and white. He's scooting around, he's swimming. I'm so happy right now. Like, this was like an unexpected, like, holy crap. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cycle everybody through that slowly and into one big tub, another big 300-gallon, and then I'm gonna have to clean this big 300-gallon. I'm gonna throw out all my lava rocks. I'm gonna bleach dip and whatever the plants that I do have, and hopefully, I'm hopeful that everybody's gonna pull through here, or at least I've finally kicked this. So she's still a little floaty, but I did a scrape on her, and she's clean too. I scraped sides, belly, tail, and she's clean. So I mean, it could be all the water changes. She got a little floaty with egginess, but she's still very active. Which, funny enough, by the way, when I went to scrape Maui, he is so big. He actually attacked me, and he fit the end of my finger in his mouth. Scared the poop out of me. He fit the whole end of my finger in his mouth. So they're active, they're eating. I'm going to do a full water change on this retreat and keep doing that for the next like 4 days. Move them to a completely different bleach tub, and so Epsom to salt to potassium permanganate to salt heated with copper sulfate. And this morning everything is clean. Do I recommend having to do that? No, but I was fighting 2 different very resistant things, and on top of dropsy. So here's hoping that things are going to start looking better in the fish room.